on, and this week we discuss Face Off, Season 10, Episode 5, and I'm Chris Lorenz. Sitting to my right is...
Robert Kitts.
Sitting to my left is...
Harrison Hoffman.
Sitting to his left...
Maxter Troy.
Sitting to his left...
James.
You had a whole season. You had a whole year to come up with that name.
Just okay.
Yeah, I was really expecting a really top-notch name there for Max, and
I like where he was going with it.
Thanks.
So this is episode 27, or season 2, episode 1. I don't know. We'll figure that out as we go.
It's a real loose beginning right now.
What do you mean? I introduced everyone. This is a
Hey.
great intro.
our host doesn't even know what season it is. What's going on here?
Hey,
Well, I mean,
welcome to
call this
season
a new
2.
season, or not? Are we gonna officially? This is season 2.
Season 2, episode 1.
Okay, I'm just.
This
Okay.
is season 2, and we didn't change our music like Serial did, so you know it's going to be good.
Oh, that's
Wow.
true.
That was the bus.
Shazam.
That bus coming out early in the
Some hatred
episode.
over there.
That was the worst part of Serial Season 2, was not using the Serial Season 1
Yeah,
music.
that was definitely the worst.
Also,
part.
Serial season 2 was the worst part of Serial season 2, I think.
Whoa,
I liked it.
whoa. I disagree with
All
that.
right, guys. All right.
I thought it was interesting.
Think it was better than season 1?
I'm not saying it was better, but I said it was still good. If you never had season 1, I thought it was exceptional.
I don't think so at all. It was awful.
Man, we're coming off the rails here.
Okay,
Okay.
Harrison, do you want to go over the show description we're talking about?
Yeah, so we watched Face Off. In this competition/elimination series, special effects makeup artists participate in elaborate challenges for a grand prize and the honor of being Hollywood's next great effects artist. Face Off on Syfy.
Do you think anyone who's been on Face Off has become anything close to Hollywood's next great makeup artist?
Maybe.
Probably.
I mean, I bet that a bunch of these people work in the industry. Like, it seems like they. Here's my big observation of Face Off, and I think that it seems to be less reality show-ish than a lot of the other things we've watched. Like, unlike Top Chef, which has a very similar format, they don't deal with all of the bullshit outside of like the actual challenge content of the show. It's not like, oh, here they are back at the Face Off contestant house. They're having a fight over the scrambled eggs. Like that kind of stuff's not happening.
And that's a good point. And even the inter-team drama was pretty low. There wasn't a lot of, I want to do this, and this other guy I'm working with is saying this other thing. And that was pretty much kept to a minimum.
I have never watched a reality show where I hated so few people.
Well, I think it's because we didn't really have a great opportunity to get to know the people or for them to really make a strong impression. Like, I don't think I know any of the people's names on the show even.
I know Mel and Melissa because they were on the same team, and that made them stand out with basically the
Eminem.
same name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely one of the more interesting reality shows because it like shows it all about the art and all about like this theme, not like who is the worst person in the room.
So I want to hear, what did people think the show was coming into it without knowing about it?
Before I'd heard anything about the show,
Yes.
and someone says Face Off,
Yes.
I'm not even thinking about a reality show. I'm thinking about something else that's going to come up later.
Okay.
Oh, I mean, I was gonna say, some sort of Travolta, make people look like other people. I don't know. That's what I would think.
So was
Face
John
Off
Travolta
show.
in the show, or is the show just John Travolta themed?
He's the host.
He's the host.
Oh.
So John Travolta or Nick Cage? Who's the better host?
It's Travolta
can't tell.
as
Okay.
Nick Cage.
This
Okay.
came out early.
Hey, here's the show. John Travolta's hosting, and the challenge is... So, I think that John Travolta should come in for an episode to guest judge, and then the challenge is, like, make your model look like Nicolas Cage. And, like, you just have to mold all of your makeup and then make him look like Nicolas Cage.
What if it was just a head-to-head, and your two models are Nicolas Cage and John Travolta, and you've got to make Nicolas
Yep.
Cage look like John Travolta?
Yep, that's the one right there.
10 out of 10. So coming into this, I kind of knew it was about like makeup, but I thought it was just, like regular makeup that, David Bowie or girls put on, not like monsters. So I was like, why is this on Sci-Fi Channel? and then it made a whole lot more sense.
I like
that's
that those
a
are
good
the two examples of people who use makeup.
Well, I was gonna just go into like only girls put on makeup, and then I was like, no, that's gender roles. You want to strike down those gender roles.
That's racist,
So
Max.
girls plus David Bowie.
Wow.
All right, so
just trying to.
Max is very progressive.
in this episode, the contestants were given a theme of aliens, kind of on the themes of Alien, the movie, and they were given a microorganism as a jumping off point, like the tardigrade and a bunch of other creepily disgusting
Microbes.
pictures. And they had to model an alien based off of that and then put it on a human, and then the best human
Yeah.
makeup won.
Right. The other key piece of that was the goal was for the alien to be bursting out of the human. That was
Like-
a clear defined
Like the
goal.
chest burster from Alien. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. But yeah, but there's one team that took like the alien chest burster thing kind of literally, and like kind of had this alien that was kind of coming out of this dude's stomach that kind of spun with a power drill, but it looked terrible. Like it was.
Yeah.
It looked better when the drill wasn't running.
Yeah.
Like when they actually had the
that.
And
drill
then-
going and it was spinning, it's like this looks like the fakest thing.
You slow that down to like 100th of what it was, so it's like slowly spinning. Or you give it slow spin back and forth, kind of like it's
Ooh, yeah.
looking. Whereas like just spinning really fast, it would just like look like a drill. And you're like, this is
One of the judges just stuck their fingers inside the alien, and it seemed slightly inappropriate.
where's your
Are you sure?
Where's
Did to
your
me.
head at?
I was just gonna call him on it. It didn't
the-
look okay.
The thing that was puzzling to me is like it seemed like most of the judges liked that power drill gimmick that they had. Like they were all like, "Oh yeah, I love that bit that you had with the drill."
Maybe
Like,
they're into gimmicks. I don't know.
I guess so.
Maybe they're just trying to encourage it on the show to do stuff like that.
Maybe if you watch the show more, you start to learn like, oh, judges love these like drill ideas.
Every costume was a drill.
So your takeaway was the judges liked it? My
Yeah.
takeaway was the judges did not like that one.
The
They liked
like
the drill
No.
specifically. They
They-
didn't
they-
like the overall package.
Well,
Right, but they
s-
specifically said you focused too much on the gimmicks and gags, and you didn't focus enough on the core task.
But they liked the gimmick.
they
I
did
think
like
they started
the gimmick,
off. They're
though.
like, "Yeah, we kind of like what you do with this drill thing," and then by the end of the like, thing, I think it was just kind of like they flip flopped and they're just like, "You didn't focus enough on the actual thing, so like it just didn't matter."
It could have been
Right.
the editing. We don't
But-
know.
Just fair.
they were in the bottom two though. Like they
No.
were.
Right.
Although they kind of just weren't judged. It was very weird. So, should we jump ahead to the judging phase, or should we sort of go chronologically?
I want to mention Lance Henriksen quickly. 'cause
Okay.
They actually had Lance Henriksen, who was in Aliens and a bunch of other
Who has
movies.
starred in over 100
But-
films?
Including the Terminator.
So,
They kind of overhyped him a little bit.
so to be fair, he is Bishop. He's been in a couple Alien films. He's the robot who kind of like gets his legs chopped off or something. But
Has he been in multiple Alien films? I was only in the one.
I think he's in 2, but I'm not 100%.
All right. But he was in, like, they mentioned that he's starred in lots of films, that include The Terminator, when we're pretty sure someone else was the star of The Terminator. But he was in The Terminator, and he definitely had some lines, so I guess that's something.
Yeah,
He has starred in hundreds of films, such as The Terminator. Like,
Arnold. Oh,
What was the movie he actually was the star of? His face is on
it
the
was like-
poster.
oh,
like
it was
Pumpkin Man or
I think
something?
it was Pumpkinhead.
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 yeah.
That classic movie, Pumpkinhead.
Which
Maybe
no
we
one's
should
ever
watch
heard
that
of.
next.
But like the fact that they said he starred in over 100 and they listed that first means that that's the biggest role of his career. Like
That is
It
very
does.
true.
I don't know. Aliens is a pretty big role for him.
Oh, for sure.
Did he have a big role, or was that just the
Yes.
biggest movie?
No, Aliens, he had legitimately a pretty big role.
Who the hell was he in Alien? I'm trying to picture him.
No, he's in Aliens.
Oh, Jesus. Serious right now?
Yo,
Okay.
James, how many Alien movies do you think there have been?
Well, there's Alien, there's Aliens, there's Alien Resurrection, there's Alien vs. Predator.
There's multiple
and
Alien vs. Predators.
There's multiple AVPs?
Max.
Oh, god damn it.
Sorry.
Max.
Maxter.
All right, well, there's the AVP franchise, however the fuck many those
The
are.
AVP universe, yeah.
So at least like 3 to 5 Alien movies.
Oh, he's
well, no,
missed so
not
much.
counting the AVPs.
What
Are
about
you
what
counting
about
the AVP?
Prometheus?
Yeah.
Is that
That
count?
just totally doesn't count.
No,
You
I
fucking
guess-
kidding me?
Maybe.
That doesn't count for
Maybe.
shit.
What about
That's some
Avatar?
bullshit.
Avatar, yeah. That's in
Al-
there.
you missed Alien 3.
Sure,
Alien
because no one's
Cube.
ever seen that piece of shit.
I've seen it. It's better than the Alien Resurrection.
Oh,
At-
I'm not surprised by that.
At some point during watching this movie, James is yelling at the screen, "They should put this in Alien 5." I'm like, I didn't even know that there were 5 Alien movies.
Right, that they're gonna make Alien 5.
No, 4. I know there were 4 Alien movies. I
Well, there's
guess,
Resurrection, and then apparently, according to Chris, there was 3.
Yeah.
Alien 1 and 2 were classic films. Gotta give them that.
So anyway,
Absolutely.
Do you remember the film where Jodie Foster jumps into like a robot suit at the end?
The mech.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bishop is the character that gets destroyed right before that.
Oh,
He's
is
the robot.
He's the. Oh, I hate that guy.
Okay,
That guy
that's
sucks.
him. That's him.
Time out. Jodie Foster?
Who?
I thought you were talking about a different movie.
I was like,
And then I'm like, wait, he's still talking about aliens.
Yeah. I don't know that girl's actual
Who
name.
is it?
It's Sigourney Weaver.
Same person.
She's
Okay, literally,
famous for being Ripley.
if you asked me what's that movie where a lady gets on an airplane and loses her child and screams about "Where's my child?"
Snakes on a plane.
I would not be able to tell you if it's Sigourney Weaver or
Snakes on a
Jodie
Plane.
Foster.
You meant Snakes on a Plane there.
It's one of those two. I don't know who.
Is this a new segment we got to do? Sigourney Weaver, Jodie Foster, starring Maxter Troy.
Oh wait, Sigourney Weaver was also in Avatar.
Yes.
It all makes sense. Okay.
James Cameron, get it?
Okay, got it. I got it. Okay, let's bring it back. So anyway, Lance Henriksen. So they bring this guy onto the show, and he's an expert in alien goo. They have this challenge where they gotta make alien goo, and he just says you just have to trust your
So this
instincts.
is the equivalent of the quick fire challenge, basically. They're like, hey, you got 2 hours, make slime, blah blah blah.
And they all seem
That's
really
the deal.
surprised when it happened. So I'm not sure if that's like the first time that this has happened this season. But they're all like, "Whoa, we
I
got
think it
to
would
do
happen at
a."
a unique time.
Oh,
I
okay.
think it usually happens later.
Or,
Or something.
or
like,
maybe it
just
happens
came in.
before they get their main challenge. They're like, before we get to the real challenge this week, here's your quick challenge. But this time they flipped it up.
This was the craziest episode of Slime Time Live I have ever seen.
No, absolutely. It's really surprising to me how like the concept of an immunity challenge is so pervasive in reality TV. Like ever since like Survivor did it and like coined the term immunity, like every reality show has an immunity challenge. Like it's such an insane
This show
thing.
followed the same formula as all these shows do.
It's basically Survivor
Yeah.
plus Top Chef, except you don't vote people
Mi-
out. and
minus
you
a
don't
lot of
live
the
on
drama.
A desert island, and there's
But
no
they
drama.
actually show you
Right.
doing something.
Right,
Like
right.
it's
Yeah.
like most of these shows, it's not really about anything, so they
No.
don't show you doing anything.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. They totally actually built something. They totally did the makeup. 3 days. Like it seemed like they were working pretty like a good amount of time.
Like
Yeah.
I don't understand this immunity challenge. How the hell do you have the best slime? I don't get it. Like how do you rate a
it
slime?
is subjective, like every one of these things
Yeah.
that's judged in every one of these reality shows.
It was
Period.
texture, realism, color, like stickiness, and something else.
They did not give them the judging criteria. There's like make some good looking slime.
Yep.
Do you know what the judge was? Lance.
The winning
Lance
team
Bass.
just slipped Lance $50. That's what happened.
Do you know what was in the winning team's goo?
Well, they're the ones who used the highlighters?
Highlighters and vet lube.
Oh, they were the vet lube
Veterinary
ones.
lube, yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it was Johnny and Walter that won it. The same guys with the spinny.
Johnny and
thing.
Walter didn't win it.
No, they
Yeah,
didn't.
they did.
But-
No, the girls did.
It was the girls with the green.
Yeah.
Isn't it Melon?
No,
Melissa?
definitely.
He called out that Johnny and Walter had some
Oh,
good
that's what I got
slime,
slipped up on.
but then he announced
Yeah.
Mel and Mel were the
Oh,
winners.
This show drove me up a wall constantly with that. They're just like, these guys are really good, but these are the winners. Like, are you serious? Like, just
They
tell
just
me
want
who won.
they just want the opportunity to talk about the different projects.
Oh, I was over the show so quick.
Really, I actually
Oh,
thought
man.
like I actually thought it was pretty
Hot
decent.
take. The show
really?
is not good.
Really? I thought it was
Oh,
pretty
terrible.
decent.
I got a hot take. It's like Project One Way, but I don't want to kill myself.
I don't know what that
Project
means.
Runway. You
I-
can't bring that show up. We haven't watched it yet.
I've had to watch it. It is a nightmare.
You had to watch Project Runway.
That's the only way to watch Project One Way.
Do
With,
go
like, a
on.
gun to
I
your head?
imagine you were like tied down and like forced to watch this against your will.
Basically.
Okay, well there we have it.
Yeah. Anyway, when they're making these,
So-
slime-
So why do you like better about Face Off versus Project Runway?
They're making cool shit.
Project Runway's not cool?
No.
Okay. Thank you, Matt.
Thanks, Max. Your
All right.
expert opinion.
Happy to help.
So about the show,
actually,
like, go ahead.
the sassy old gay gentleman in that show, he's entertaining. But otherwise,
Tim
hell no.
Gunn.
Yeah.
You know this.
I do know this.
Okay.
When he said it, I was like, yeah, I know that name.
I might
That's
be
right.
married to someone with a fashion degree.
Might be.
Might be.
Can someone explain the host and her dad situation? Because like, there's somebody who's who's the host.
I was IMDbing this.
Okay. Can you help me out here?
So first, just to sort of reset. So at one point, the host just says, "I'll be back later with my dad," out of context. And it's like, if you haven't, I guess if you see the first episode, they explain that. It was just really strange. So I'm like, I got to check this out. So her dad has been a makeup artist in Hollywood for a long time, and according to his IMDb, his most known for is that he worked on multiple Star Trek TV series.
Okay.
And did a
Oh.
bunch of Star Trek makeup.
That's cool.
It must be nuts doing makeup for a TV show like Star Trek, because like the creatures and stuff are just so varied all the time that
Yeah.
like you're just constantly spinning out new
I
creatures.
don't
Like,
know if it's varied. It's more like you have to do the same makeup on the same people.
Well, it's both.
every
well,
fucking day.
yeah, it's both, right? Because there's the crew
Yeah,
and then
but
there's
have
the
you
people
seen
they
the
meet.
Ferengi? There's like ridiculous makeup to be in a regular person on the show.
I have many problems with the Ferengi.
Thank you.
Go
Oh
on.
God, no! Do not go on.
Do you know what the Ferengi look like?
I don't know what the Ferengi
Oh,
look
man.
like.
I have no
This-
idea what this character is.
This is a discussion for another time.
They're
What
Season
you're,
3,
you're,
Star
you're,
Trek.
You're just gonna tee it up like that and then just walk away?
All right,
Okay.
I'm putting a timer on this. Go.
Okay. Basically, they have very large noses, and they're very concerned with capitalism. I, as a Jew, am allowed to say this. They're space Jews. It's not okay.
Oh boy.
Oh, totally. I'm invoking the law of Bryan Cranston as the dentist in Seinfeld, where, as a Jew, you're allowed to talk about Jewish stereotypes and jokes. And it is Ferengi, total space Jews.
Oh boy.
See,
oh
we're-
my God. Chris just pulled up a photo of
Okay.
Ferengi on his phone.
That,
I don't get Space Jew at all when I see this.
when you hear them talk about money,
So is it like more of the acting thing,
yeah.
not
no,
not
it's
the
just
looks?
that they're like all about money. But I'm talking
okay.
about the makeup. Lies. That was a main character for 7 seasons of a 20
Right.
plus episode show.
and
That
they
would
just look
be-
like
that would suck.
shit.
That would be a total nightmare. Like, those people have to get there like 4 hours before they start shooting all the time. They're in this hot ass makeup. It
That
must
was
be
a
terrible.
very specific number. I like that you just pulled that right out of your
Nah,
butt.
dude, I bet it's at least 4 hours.
Oh,
At least.
shit, at least 4.
Dude,
Yeah, I
Yep.
think you're right.
this
It's at
shit
least
is
4.
It's a
this
very
shit's
non-specific
crazy.
number.
So crazy. Like, just being in that kind of whole body, whole face makeup all day must just be so hot and uncomfortable. Like, it's
Dude, imagine being Worf.
yeah, fucking Worf. Yeah.
It's crazy. Every episode.
All right.
Man, there's so many
I,
Star Trek
I was
references.
feeling bad for the models that they had at the end of the show that had to put these on, especially the
Oh.
one whose like face was completely covered.
Yep.
And then I don't know if we want to get into the models acting part right now or not, but like when the models come out wearing the makeup, they're all trying to act like they're like in some kind of situation where there's like this thing is happening to them coming out of their chest, and it's just so bad the way they're trying
it's
to
really
act
it's really doing the makeup a disservice.
so much.
Also, like, I really think that the output of this and the way that the judges should view it is they should shoot an actual movie scene. It's like, okay, like the makeup people should be like handed the script and it's like, make a monster to put in this script, and then they act it out and shoot it so that it's actually in the right lighting and the right setting and the tension and all that kind of stuff, because I feel like that really plays into it.
You just drove the cost up for this like reality TV show through the roof.
Dude, how fucking hard is it to just get a good camera and
I don't
point it
think
at
you
it?
do
Like,
a movie scene. I just think you take a couple of still shots and like you do the right lighting and you do everything right, and then there you
it
go.
would be so much more entertaining if you watched all these different monsters act out all these different scenes.
The actors were clearly terrible. Why do you want them to be acting?
It'd be so insane.
Firstly, they're not even actors. They're just models,
You'd
and they
have to
couldn't
get-
act. The acting
you'd have
they
to
did
get
was
actors.
terrible.
But
Sure.
I think every scene, it's the actor in the makeup doing a scene with John Travolta and Nicolas Cage.
Oh, okay, yeah.
No.
Oh my god, you
That's
guys!
on-
or they are the people in the makeup.
This
No,
is
no,
quickly
no.
becoming the most expensive reality TV show
So-
ever.
Nick Cage is available.
Is he? What's that guy doing right now?
That's
He-
on the next season.
he lost a lot of
Celebrity
money.
Face Off.
Oh yeah, didn't he have to like sell some kind of stolen like alligator head or no, like a dinosaur skull. That's what it
Does
was.
John Travolta
no,
stole
Nick
an
Cage.
alligator skull?
Nick Cage, I think.
Nick
bought-
Cage stole an alligator
No,
skull?
he didn't steal it. He bought it off somebody that stole it.
It was a hot
so
item.
he returned it.
We're
feel-
sure
He gave it back
this-
to China or
Yes.
something.
Nicholas
Oh my
Cage
He
has
gave it
bought
back to China?
It was something like it was a hot, dinosaur skull
From China.
that was stolen, like without Nick Cage being involved. Nick Cage bought it.
Is this
And
a
then-
movie or is it real?
This is real.
This is 100% the plot to Indiana Jones 4.
No, it's National Treasure 3.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
clearly National
Yeah.
Treasure. He's
National
gonna go.
treasure dinosaur bone that he has to return, steal and then return.
Okay,
And then he's gonna put the
that's
skull
National
on his
Treasure.
face.
Real damn.
Face off.
So there's a
Face
little
off
bit more
too.
to the story about the daughter and the father. If you want me to get back
Sure,
to
yeah.
that,
Oh.
Oh wow, was that
Oh,
tangent?
Maybe we should talk
Let's
about
bring it
Star
back.
Trek a little more.
we
Let's
could.
bring it back.
Are there any more stereotypes you got to talk about within Star Trek?
Not right now. I'm
What
sure
the fuck is Warp supposed to be?
I don't know.
Okay.
So the daughter is actually this makeup guy was doing makeup for Raging Bull, and the daughter was like 4 or something, and so she's with them when he's doing makeup for Robert De Niro. And Robert De Niro's like, oh, maybe she should be my daughter in the movie, and she was.
Oh, great.
So the host was Robert De Niro's daughter in Raging Bull.
Yes.
And the dad is just a famous Hollywood makeup artist.
Yeah.
Which-
And so
which-
she's been in some other random actor things, including some random episodes of Star Trek, but not a very vast career.
So has the dad done anything else notable aside from the Star Trek series stuff?
Well, he did Raging Bull. He
Yeah,
was
I know.
in he did Rocky movies, and
I feel like
he had a pretty extensive.
I feel like
IMDb.
makeup in Raging Bull and Rocky movies is not the kind of stuff that we saw today.
No,
It's not really.
I think this is more there for his Star Trek experience for this kind of show.
Gotcha.
So on the topic of the girl, what is her most famous role then? Is
Phrasing.
it Face Off or Raging Bull?
This is a good question that I should have remembered, so I'm going to look it up.
What do you think?
I don't understand the question.
How do you not understand the question?
What is the question?
All right.
What's she more famous for?
Is Raging Bull or Face Off her more popular role?
Who?
The host.
Mackenzie?
Is that her name?
Her last name is her first name is Mackenzie.
Yeah. Firstly, I've not seen Raging Bull. What was the other movie?
The
Face
show
Off?
we just watched.
Oh. Well, I've never seen Raging Bull, so no comment.
Okay.
Really went down a tangent. I don't know. Has anyone else seen it? Like,
Nope.
No.
there you go.
I have the IMDb
I-
open,
I have-
so
I-
I have her top 3 according to IMDb most known for.
Hit me.
So in 3rd place, she was on the soap opera All My Children as Dr. Riley Sinclair.
How many episodes?
How many episodes? Stupid app doesn't say.
Okay.
Man,
Why-
what-
Moving on.
Look,
Moving
man,
on.
who
Data
makes that app?
The number
Jeez.
2 is she was in Star Trek Insurrection as Baku Woman.
Oh.
Never seen.
No
And her
name.
number 1 most known for is the soap opera Passions, where she was Sheridan Crane.
What about Raging Bull? Or
Didn't make
Face
her
Off.
most
What
known
about Face
for.
Great.
She was in 1,037 episodes of Passions.
Holy
1,000?
shit.
Man.
She was at least credited in 1,000.
That's like 3 years worth.
that 1999 to 2008.
So Max, what?
She was in
soap
25
operas you
episodes of
watching?
All My Children.
No, like soap operas, they air basically every day, right? So
yeah,
that's
every
3 years.
Workday.
Every workday,
Every weekday, yeah.
and they go in seasons. I gotta imagine, right? Like they can't go
No,
the
they
whole.
go like
Really? They don't take any time breaks.
I think they're off for like a month or 2 at a time. But
So how do you think they shoot those? Like, are they shooting those like all in one go for the week, or like are they just putting like a bunch in the can? Or like how's that working for soap operas?
I don't
It feels like a lot of shit to shoot.
What's
Yeah.
it called? A soap
yeah,
opera.
that's why the writing is so terrible because there's no
Right.
time to
It
write.
was like I'm pretty sure it's called a soap opera because like way fucking back in the day, like soap companies used to like sponsor the shows. It'd be like soap commercials and like sponsorships, I think.
Okay.
I love when Max laughs enough that he can't talk.
Okay.
Oh
So-
man.
So IMDb for some reason lists 5 seasons of Passions, but season 1 has 2,075 episodes over 9 years.
It's a really long
Wow.
season.
And then season 2 is 1 episode.
That's
So
a lot longer
I think
than our
that
first
answers the
season.
question. They don't really have seasons. It just
Fucking
keeps going.
IMDb. Okay, let's get back to the show that we're reviewing.
What show?
We're reviewing it.
Face Off.
What's your review?
So anyway,
I don't think we're at the review
Yeah.
part, are we?
well,
We just
no.
skipped over it?
3 power drills.
We're going back over it. So they finish the goo phase, then they do the sculpting phase where they sort of like sculpt onto a regular old mannequin, sort of what it's going to look like.
Right.
So, of the 5 teams, you got like 3 that are just like things bursting out of heads. You got one that's bursting out of the head and also the back, and one that's bursting out of the head and also like the chest, like Alien.
Here's what I don't understand. Like, it seems like a lot of these people went for like the whole head looking fucked up. It's like their molds and stuff like are just like the whole face looking insane. Like, I was kind of looking for more of like, this person looks like a normal ass person, but there's an insane alien busting out of them, and none of those people looked like a real person. So like, I feel like it didn't end up being as scary. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was definitely expecting the people that are like, oh, the alien's gonna come out of the back of the head to be like a normal person. They turn around and be like this giant like fucking thing.
Oh,
like,
totally.
alien coming out of the
Totally,
back.
it'd be so much more impactful. Instead, like their entire face looks so fucked up because like they rushed out this insane makeup job. But like,
My
I don't
takeaway was
know.
it came across more like zombies. Right,
Some
there's
of
some
them,
sort
yeah.
of crazy
Really-
shit and like whatever. They just kind of looked like something out of Walking Dead, like all kinds of fucked
super
up.
pale, no blood kind of thing. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, I mean, if that one dude with the back of the head was wearing like a trench coat or something,
Yeah.
and then took the trench coat off, like that would be
Sure, I'd
much
like that.
scarier, but like not really showing off the makeup, which is like I think the point of
Dude,
the show.
that guy should have been wearing like a hoodie with the hood up, and then like the thing should just
Oh.
busted out of the back of the hood or something like that. It would have been real fucking cool.
That's cool.
That'd been cool.
Use some sort of drill for that.
Yeah, maybe get a drill in the mix.
Is he a good enough actor to pull off the reveal though?
Absolutely not.
So the fact that all 5 of them had like bursting out of the head components had me thinking, this is all kind of, why don't they mix it up? Why don't they have a penis burster or a vagina burster?
Man.
Oh man, that'd be horrifying.
Yes.
You're just sitting there and an alien starts coming out of your penis.
They ooh.
That's not gonna be good for you.
As a side note, I wrote this down as a note on my phone while watching the show, and I tried to swipe penis burster, and it didn't work.
Oh yeah, that was what my joke about Alien 5. It's like Alien 5. It's when the aliens come out of your penis.
Oh yeah.
You remembered the joke.
Yeah,
Great job.
it wasn't really a joke. It was just kind of a comment during the show
Okay.
about whatever. I don't know.
Alien 5.
Alien 5.
Penis
Alien 5.
bursters.
Penis bursters.
Anus 5 :
Starring Jodie
Why is
Foster.
it now Anus 5? You shitting me?
No, sorry.
What is this, a porn now?
Sorry,
What's
that's
going on?
Anus 6 when it's the follow up to the penis burster one where it comes out of his anus. It's when that one happens.
Ooh boy.
Okay.
Or is Anus 6 the porn version of this?
Yeah, no, maybe.
Clearly is.
So they spend the majority
They
of the
put
show.
this monster in you.
I'm trying to move us on here.
Okay.
Come on, Chris.
Okay. Chris, bring us away.
So the majority of the show is them just kind of dealing with some sort of editing time crunches that we don't really know if they had time crunches or not. But they have 3 days to make this makeup. The second day they were pretty much just making molds.
Yeah, they're trying to
And
get the
then
molds together for
Third
sure.
day they got the models in, and then they were putting the molds, the silicone molds, on models and painting them and putting makeup on. And then they had after that they had an hour to finalize the makeup, and then the judges saw them. That was the show.
show.
Man, that's
Very
Well,
concise.
I'm just trying to get us to the end.
That's a show right
we've
there.
talked a lot about the show already.
We have.
There's
It's
not
true.
a lot to talk about in that whole.
It really isn't.
So,
I didn't think that
let's
show was
just
going to be
move
that
on.
at all.
What do you think it
what
was
do you
going
think
to
it's
be?
gonna be?
Well, so when we first started talking about what show we're going to watch for this season, I totally forgot that we do reality shows. So I just totally thought it was a real show called Face Off, and it was a spin-off of the movie. And I got kind of excited. I'm like, oh, this could be a thing.
No.
Podcast.
Wait,
Can't hold on,
go
hold
on.
on, hold on. I want to understand the premise of the Face Off TV show
Yes.
spinoff.
Yeah, it's just a lower budget version of the movie, but in the TV format.
Oh, so it's just they're remaking the movie Face Off
Right.
as a TV
It's
show.
a TV
Okay,
show,
okay.
But,
with
how-
lesser
how do
known
you-
actors.
How do you stretch the plot out? Because he spends a lot of Face Off in jail? Like, is he in jail for a lot of the
Yeah, I mean, you
movie?
could
or is it
build
just
a lot
that
of that
they're,
out.
you know,
Maybe there's more like in the front end of that, like the research and the scientists figuring out how to do it.
Maybe it's just
then there's like
prison
finding the right people. Right. It's a lot of that.
Sounds more like
Maybe
a-
there's multiple people. Maybe there's like this face-off company, and like the whole thing is like, oh, I want to swap faces with Chris, and then like now I'm Chris and Chris is me, and like that's what's happening. In the next episode is just somebody else.
Is
I
it two
smell a
different
sitcom.
Is it two different people swapping every episode, or is it a guy whose job it is to swap in other people every week?
Oh, could be. I mean, that's probably more the TV show format.
I mean, I kind of
work.
think it's sort of True Detective style, where you get a couple of big name actors per season, and then they
Oh.
swap faces,
Oh.
2 different actors every season.
Look, I'm gonna have a controversial opinion here. That movie doesn't work.
Face Off.
It's not
What?
work. You can't put it on TV. It will work even less.
Hold on.
Whoa.
So you just say that Face Off doesn't work as a movie?
The concept doesn't work at all
Why not?
because it's too confusing. Who is John Travolta? Is he John Travolta?
It's never
Or is he
confusing.
Nicolas Cage playing John Travolta.
It's never
It is-
confusing.
It is exceedingly straightforward as long as you don't get into it in 30 minutes in.
No, it's not. I think the movie's not very confusing, but it's just. I don't.
There's a
think
lot
it
of
works.
unexplained pieces.
I don't think it works.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Them playing two different people. It just.
Well, the whole like face-off swapping thing doesn't make any sense. It makes a lot more sense to like swap like mental capacity or like brain capacity somehow, right?
So you're talking about a Parent Trap situation.
No,
Yeah.
not a Parent
Wow.
Trap.
You're not talking about a Parent Trap?
I don't
No,
think
you-
so.
Although holy
Parent
sh-
Trap is a different movie where there's twins who are separated and try to get their
Talking
parents
about
back
a
together.
Freaky Friday situation.
Yeah, I think that's what you're looking for.
That other Lindsay Lohan movie.
I have-
Other Lindsay Lohan
I have
movie,
never
you're right.
thought of
But-
face. That would make so much more sense.
Right. That's the because like the problem I think that Chris has with it, and that I had too, but you just have to like look past it. Is like the tech doesn't make sense because there's so many unexplained things.
I don't think it's just the tech. I don't think the acting works very well. In the
Oh,
movie.
the acting is amazing. It's comically
I'm-
bad.
Yeah, it's bad. Exactly.
The best part of the entire movie is the 2 huge big name actors trying to do impressions of one another. That's what makes the whole movie.
Dude, that Nick Cage like
But they're
fucking
not
look
impressions of
on that
each
plane
other.
is
They
great.
are impressions of each other.
Impressions of the other person playing another character for like 2 minutes.
Dude, they're like John Travolta is doing a Nick Cage impression. Nick Cage is doing a John
It's
Travolta
great.
impression for the whole time they're face
for like
swapped.
80% of the movie.
The whole time they're face swapped.
Yeah, which is like 80-90% of the movie.
It's a lot of the movie.
It's most of it, and it's great.
No.
Great movie.
No.
I mean, not
It's
not.
fun.
It's
Look,
a fun movie to
You know,
watch.
get inebriated. This is a good movie to put on. It's fun. I'll give you that. But it does not. I don't think it works.
So I want to bring up the Freaky Friday thing again. It's like there've been a lot of movies
Yeah.
where like 2 people swap bodies, and
Yep.
they're, as far as I know, Face Off being exception, they're always comedies, and it's always some weird magical thing that swaps them. Why is Face Off the only one that has both not made it magical and made it more of an action movie than a comedy?
Ooh, I mean, it's pretty comical though,
It is.
because
but
they
not
proved-
not. It's not a. It wasn't implied to be a comedy. You're right.
They proved it didn't work.
It worked so well.
It did not work.
That movie is a hit.
4
Like,
out
it
of
just
5
is.
reality podcast professionals say it worked great.
The fact that you call yourself I find that comical. And realize the professional over here said he didn't even know what kind of podcast he was on. I kind of wanted to roll back to that a little bit.
I
thought
thought
we were
maybe
doing,
season 2 we're swapping it up. We're doing
some
new
other
shit.
podcast over
Dude,
here.
we fucking did an episode on a movie. You can't give me that much shit.
It's been a while.
one
Each
podcast
year,
on
a new one.
I mean, when that Fast 8 drops though, is it Furious 8 or Fast 8? Fast 8, right?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's not named yet.
I'm pretty sure it's Furious 8.
Double F8. When that drops,
Yeah, that's a new.
obviously we're getting the bucket of Coronas out again.
title. Yeah, most likely.
That's a long way away, though.
August?
Is that
April 2017.
Jesus.
Uh,
Okay.
As a side note, Mr. Diesel, Mr. Johnson, I know you're listening. For Fast 10, you gotta have the tagline be Fast 10 your seatbelts.
That was terrible.
Wow.
Okay.
So bring it back in. If we're remaking Face Off, or we're casting Face Off season 1, the Nick Cage John Travolta version, who are the 2 people you want to star in the new version?
oh
Easy.
Do
Well,
it.
I got one.
Do it.
I don't know who the combo is.
You
Obviously, you
gotta
put the
have
Rock in it. Why wouldn't you put the Rock in it?
Here, I'll tell you why you don't put the Rock in it.
Oh, what? Come on.
Because
Okay.
you gotta swap him with somebody.
Oh, yeah, that's a
who
problem.
has
The
a
only-
similar body type, so they can do the face-off.
I just learned
What
this. He's
if
got
it-
that look. He's got
like-
that look-alike though.
Vin Diesel.
The only movies that The Rock does anymore are with Kevin Hart, and I don't think that's going to work out for this
That's true,
situation.
that's
I
true.
mean, I feel like I'm going to throw out Kiefer Sutherland here as part
Ooh.
one.
But who do you swap him
Who
with?
the hell is he? Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know who you swap.
Well, it's
him
not
with.
like John Travolta looks a lot like Nick Cage.
Nope.
Like, they're pretty different looking people, for being honest.
The movie says they have very similar body types, and that's why the face-off works.
Body types.
How about Kiefer and David Palmer?
How about Kiefer and Mark Boudreaux?
There
Okay,
we go.
We're getting
Got
a little
that.
too.
I think if you're gonna
Little
go
too
for
deep.
like you could go Kiefer and Tom Cruise because they both do action things. They're both kind of short.
But Tom Cruise isn't doing a TV show, so
Also,
he's
need-
thrown out.
movie.
Also,
or the
need-
movie.
the movie. Face Off
Season
2.
one of this TV, or they're just remaking the movie.
Also, like, I don't think that Tom Cruise is going to do a great Kiefer impression. I don't think that Kiefer's going to do
Right.
a great Tom Cruise impression. I think we need people who have more distinctive, like, personality traits. that they
like
can
like
work
Samuel
off of.
Jackson, maybe.
Yeah, maybe it's
I mean, 'cause he's pretty distinguishable, right? Like if somebody's doing a Sam Jackson impression, you're like, okay, I know what you're going for here.
So you
I,
could- so
I
you-
got a great one.
okay.
Christopher Walken.
And
Just him.
I was
I
actually
swap
just
faces
gonna
with
say,
myself.
It's like Nutty
Oh, man.
Professor.
Oh no,
Jim Carrey would also be, I feel like, really good in that.
Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
I
What's
feel
he
like
up to?
I feel like Jim Carrey is too good at impressions.
He
for
could do it on
this.
his own. There's two versions of Jim Carrey in the movie,
We just
and he's
talked
face
about
swaps
that.
with himself.
Yeah, you're nutty, your professor.
It's like
yeah,
it's
no.
like Jim Carrey the Grinch and like Jim Carrey and like Liar Liar.
Sure, yeah.
So on this like
So now we're both Parent Trapping and Freaky Friday.
exactly.
No, this is the Nutty Professor.
man.
Or,
You gotta.
This is the Nutty Professor.
Right. It's not, shit. That formula really panned
Bring
out
in
in
Eddie
the long
Murphy. You
run.
can do them all.
Man, what's Eddie Murphy? He's not doing
Yeah.
anything.
How
He was
about-
terrible in that SNL reunion.
Yeah, he lost
Here
it.
we go. We
I
got it.
think.
Will Smith and Eddie Murphy.
no, they're both weirdos now.
Exactly. That's why they can
Yeah.
swap.
Oh.
That's
But is it like,
Smith
are
and
they
Murphy.
swapping like as young, popular themselves,
Wait.
or like
Oh
old, like
my
not
God.
so good?
What
themselves?
about Will Smith and,
And
Jeff
Jaden-
Goldblum?
I love it.
Yes. I was going to go Will Smith and Jaden Smith, but
no,
that's way
no.
better.
Strong
no.
one.
That was basically
think
that
we-
one movie they did.
We
I
dropped
know.
the whole
And that was
Independence
terrible.
Day?
No, the
No.
fucking spaceship crash landing on whatever planet, and fucking Will Smith is sitting in a spaceship the whole time,
Yep.
and Jaden's trying to do
You
whatever.
mean
know.
After Earth?
Yeah, that one. After Earth.
Yeah, Titan
Welcome
AE.
to After Earth.
I got one more to throw out there. What if we did Arya from Game of Thrones and Maggie from The Walking Dead?
Don't watch Walking Dead.
I haven't seen Walking Dead,
All right.
so that's gonna be a tough one. But how about that? How about the girl? How about the girl from Kick Ass and
Oh.
Arya? I feel like they've kind of got similar
Oh, yeah.
situations going on.
I can see that.
Something like
That's a
that,
good one.
maybe.
Sure.
But I don't understand this concept. So you're saying the movie is a bad impersonation of these two actors that have kind of distinctive personalities. What is the
You're
Arya
right.
personality? What is the
Right.
other person? Like, I don't. This whole thing doesn't work. This concept doesn't work. Needs to throw it away.
How about like Sean Connery
Oh, I like where we're going.
and
Yeah.
I
Oh.
don't know. I don't know who the other person is, but I think Sean Connery, like, he's got a very distinctive personality
He does.
and way he conducts himself.
Will Ferrell.
Yeah,
That'd be
I'm
a
in.
hell of a swap,
I'm
right?
in. Yeah, absolutely.
I would do that.
Will
Yeah.
Ferrell is not a good enough actor for that.
Dude, he's the hell of a George Bush.
Dude, who does the Sean Connery impression on Celebrity Jeopardy on SNL?
Your mother's a whore,
Is that
Trebek.
Daryl Hammond?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Daryl Hammond? I don't know if that's gonna. That's gonna God, I'm pretty sure Sean Connery's not gonna want to do a Daryl Hammond impression. Doesn't seem
What is a
good.
Daryl Hammond impression when he's not being someone else?
Yeah, who knows?
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Do we want to roll back to the show or?
Sure.
What else we got to say about the show?
I don't know. Which ones?
How did we land
Which
on it?
costumes did you like the
Oh,
most?
yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. Go ahead.
I didn't like. Obviously, the worst one was the one without. There was like one where the thing was falling off.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about that yet.
And that was, and then when the person got kicked off. For
So,
it,
well, just to recap. So, they all kind of did what they were calling them cowls. Basically, like, it's like a hat. I get a molded hat that
Like a headpiece.
Yeah, a headpiece is a better way to put it. But then you do makeup so that it just looks like it's part of your head. But the one team, it definitely looked like a hat sort of sitting on their head, and you could see the line where it was like going from the hat to their actual.
It was like a shower cap. It was
Like,
so bad.
It looked like a super obvious bald cap, shower cap thing, and like this person's gotten to this point. I don't understand why she can't figure out how to make it stick and blend it into the person's forehead. It seems like 101 in this kind of
It
industry.
wasn't an issue with blending; it was an issue with weight. So the headpiece
It
had
was
so
too
much weight; it
heavy.
was pressing down, and it was causing the crease to like. It was
Yeah,
basically the
just
material was clumping up.
Yeah, it just kept moving.
Right, because they could fix it, but then it would just collapse.
Classic rookie mistake. Too much weight in the headpiece.
It was also very uninspiring because it was like just like Alien. It was like just something popping, like a little worm popping out of his
It
head.
just sucked.
The fucking like I don't know, some kind of European nationality mad scientist contestant guy.
Yeah,
What's his? I don't know. Is he German or something?
he seemed German.
Sounds
He seems German,
Seemed
yes.
German.
I think
But,
his
like,
name was Robert.
His name was Hans.
Robert Hans.
Hans was the
I
monster.
know.
But, like,
Hans is the monster.
he
That
was-
looked like a dick.
He was impersonating him.
He was totally like evil mad scientist guy, and like the whole thing with the tumor was like we're gonna put this. I was gonna try and do a German accent, but I walked away. It's gonna be good.
I was
Yeah.
waiting.
But yeah, like I like he was like, yeah, we're gonna put this tumor in his head, and it was totally like a bad path to go down because like the girl who had to execute it got kicked off because it looked not very interesting and just falling off the person's head.
Like, an interesting thing would be if they didn't have the problem with the hat looking like a hat, and they just executed what they were doing, would they have lost anyway?
Yes, it
So-
still looked bad.
So I think that they still would have lost, and I think that the German dude might have gotten eliminated because his like brainworm thing didn't look very good.
No.
Like
Yeah, I was like, is that all he's gonna be doing? Like, these other people are doing huge prosthetics, and he's like making a worm. I was like,
He was pretty into it, though.
yeah, he was into it, but you're 3 days. Like, it's not a lot to do.
But hey, he's still around.
That's true.
Mission accomplished.
So I think we all agree that's the worst one. What's everybody's favorite alien?
Well, I think the two they singled out as the top two were the two best ones.
I like the green.
Yeah,
makeup
The
with
face coming
The
out of
full
the
head
face.
thing?
full head.
I was really concerned before they put that last piece on that they were gonna send her up there with her face painted green and her actual face showing, and then her fake face around her shoulders, and that was gonna be a real awful situation.
Yeah, green's definitely my winner.
Yeah, they definitely didn't focus that much. At least it didn't come across in the editing on the details on the head on the shoulder thing, where it like looked like coming out, but like that looked pretty nuts. Like those eyes with the hair and everything was really crazy.
The eyes look good, but I don't think that it looked good for me to like look good enough for me to believe that it was her face on her shoulders.
Sure,
I mean,
I
You
with,
know what I
get that.
mean? Like
with the right lighting,
maybe.
it looked like a Halloween costume, but a really good one.
Sure,
I
yeah.
think it was like the best Halloween costume I've ever seen.
Sure.
Probably. Like that's top quality. Almost every one of these would be best like Halloween
for
costume
sure.
I've ever seen. Even the one that we said lost still would have been a great Halloween costume.
That's true.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Sounds like the pro takeaway is apply makeup
Maybe.
for a Halloween costume. No? I was trying to go with like a gold bond apply directly to the head kind of thing or whatever that. It's not gold bond, but whatever that joke is.
I
Keep
mean,
going, James.
I
Keep
don't know,
going.
man. I'm really stumbling out there. You guys really just left me out on that rock to dry.
yeah, you kept. I wouldn't apply Gold Bond to the forehead
What's
generally.
that fucking commercial? It's like apply
like,
directly to the forehead.
Head on. It's
Head
like
on,
the headache.
directly to the head.
Head on. Apply directly to the forehead. Yeah.
Yeah, that.
So in comparison to the other reality shows, what were we talking here, Rob? We doing like top third, bottom third? Is it like right in the middle?
I'm going to say lower end of top third.
What do you think, Harrison?
I think this is going to be a controversial statement, but I'm going to say it anyway.
I mean, we're all about controversy.
So I think that some people here like this show because it was all business, but I kind of want to see how these people interact outside of this makeup situation.
No way. Get out of here. No way.
I would probably put it in my middle third.
I think it's the shows we watch, top third, 100%.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Lower end's top third.
So for me, it's I always ask, like, would I watch this? Would I watch another episode? And to me, the answer is clearly no. Like, I would never watch another episode of the show ever, so it has to be bottom third for me for that reason.
I would fast forward the shit out of the show.
Oh, yeah. Halfway through the show, I'm like, I'm done with
Like,
the show.
I think
Let's move
the
on.
beginning is interesting, and like the concepts and kind of their like coming up what they're gonna do, and then if you could skip to like the end where they have the thing, because I really dislike the whole. Well, we're gonna have a commercial break. I'm not gonna tell you. Oh my god.
Yeah, they follow the same formula as
If you
most of
could
these
shrink
shows.
this
It
down
sucks,
to like
but
a half hour.
Yeah, I
good
was
to
saying
go.
like
Oh, for sure.
the thing is like since it's all business, I think it needs to be a half hour. But if you're gonna make it an hour, I think you need some more like character development for the contestants.
Or like some other thing happening.
Right. Or
There's
like
only-
or
there's
like
only-
2 challenges or something, you know.
Yeah, but I have to say they need 3 days to do this. So like,
No, totally.
there's not a lot of room to be doing more challenges.
Should they go a little bit more into like when they were doing the slime challenge? They were like talking about like the different chemicals they were using and stuff like that. Do you think they didn't go enough into like this is how you actually make this prosthetic thing? I'm trying to
Get
do?
into a little bit of the science and the technique a little bit more. I would kind of like that.
I mean, this is 10 seasons in, so they might have done that.
That
And it's
that's an
just like-
They were
excellent
kind of-
point.
And it's just like, well, we can't go over how to like make this mask.
That's kind of the most amazing thing. They're 10 seasons in, and they haven't just made it all drama at this point.
Is it really 10 seasons?
This is
That
Yeah.
was season 10, episode 5.
Wow.
They're like kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out on like the seriousness of it. Like like if they're gonna go the seriousness route, I definitely want to see like I want to know about the techniques and the materials and all the things that they're doing. Right.
Yeah,
What
I'd
if
like more like what is it? Where slow takes where they just show you everything they're doing, all in like in a fast, like in a minute.
well, I would have loved to see it's like a time lapse.
Like a time lapse of them actually like sculpting something would be great.
Mhm.
Like to fill that time, because like I'm super interested in like what they're trying to do and get it to like look the right way, and to see somebody like paint and then overpaint and then wipe it away and paint more and like get it to be the right color they want is like compelling. But I mean, you can't just sit somebody there and watch that for 10 minutes, but you can watch it in like 30 seconds.
Totally. Yeah, they sort of skipped over a lot. Like they showed a glimpse of it. Like they're like, okay, now we're gonna show people painting, but they just kind of showed it from a distance and like, okay, broad strokes, and then you just didn't see the actual process or the art of it. And that was kind of interesting to me, and the fact that a lot of these people are just clearly artists, right? And they're kind of going through different styles, different approaches, and different takes on it. But in the end, they don't really show a lot of the like techniques or details that they're applying. Or really like you don't come away learning anything from this. So it's like I don't know. These people are good at makeup. They put these things on, but like I don't know anything more than I knew before about molding or sculpting or how to make like a slime or whatever.
I like roughly understand the process a little bit better, but not like how you would actually do it. Really.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you've watched the Mythbusters the last 2 seasons, they've looked gorgeous. The directing has been amazing.
Really?
Like it's been like Mythbusters is kind of like this, where they have this thing they're trying to set out and make. And the last 2 seasons, there was only 2 of them, so there's still an hour. So they were filling a lot of that time with like how they were doing things, testing more things out, showing more of just the process, which was really nice.
That's
and
awesome.
The directing was fantastic. You take some of the directing into this show instead of just like bright studio lights all over the place.
Well,
They're
that's
better.
actually like what I thought the injustice was at the end, where the judges were judging this just with basically huge ass white stage lights with no like good color scales or anything, and it like just highlighted all the mistakes really. Which maybe that's what I don't know. Maybe it was intentional. I don't know.
That's kind of how they're judging it though. Like
It's just not. It's not real. Like that's
they
not
really
how
wanna
you would
get up
shoot the
close.
movie. Like you're gonna have proper lighting.
Well, I mean,
right,
the whole thing.
Which is why I want them to shoot
Shit.
the fucking scene, so I can see how that character's
So
gonna look.
would every team shoot the same scene, or would
Yeah.
each team get its own scene?
You like the challenge is like you hand the teams the script and be like, make a monster for this scene, and then they shoot it. Like
I think that they're professionals, so like they'll generally see what you'd see in the final movie in these kind of lighting conditions, so they'll kind of know.
Yeah.
Whereas like us as an audience member, we have no idea. We're just like, that looks like shit. Like, well, that could look fine in a movie with the right lighting and the right conditions and the right angles.
Yeah.
But
that's
Yeah.
that's a really good point, because I feel like all of these
You put some post
looked
production
like,
on it, and
well, I mean, no, but like all these looked like shit, and I kind of couldn't imagine them in an actual movie, like in like a believable way. But like maybe when you actually like shoot the scene with the right lighting and the right post production, like maybe it works. But it's hard to know. Like they all look kind of shitty.
well, like take any like have you seen like any like Hollywood costumes, right? Like actual movie costumes. Then you see them in real person in like normal lighting, they do not look
Totally,
good.
like
Yeah.
costumes and props and all that stuff like don't look as impressive in real life as they
Right.
do. Yeah.
So I feel like this is totally got to be up that same alley, right? Like I'm sure like you see that same person on set, and you're like, oh, that looks like okay, but you know then it's the final cut that looks amazing because everything's popping just right. And I'm sure that's a lot of what that was here.
Right, exactly, which is why I want the scene.
And it's
Like,
not a
it ju-
post production.
It just comes
show,
back
right?
to that, right? Yeah.
It's a makeup show. It's not about how good are you at post production.
You combine this show with like a directing show,
Mm.
good to go.
I like
There was like this reality show like a long time ago that was basically they had all these like really talented like filmmakers who kind of hadn't like had their breakout moment yet, and like each week was basically like, hey, like here's this concept, like you know, make this like short film like around this theme. Like they would go and they would make the short film in the week, and then they'd like screen it, and it was like super impressive. Like I kind of want to pair that sort of a thing with this kind of a concept. Like
That's cool.
I think there was one on something like that on HBO recently.
yeah, there's that Project Greenlight show, which is
Yeah.
a little bit different, but yeah, it's
Similar.
similar. Yeah.
Got anything last words on the show? Wrap it up?
So there was a commercial in the middle of it for Sharknado 4, and I really think they should brand that as like Schforknado, like they turn one of the A's into a 4.
They like did like some Star Wars joke though, right? It was like Sharknado: The Fourth Awakens or something like that.
Yes, they did.
Some
Oh,
like kind of
yeah.
Star Wars
Oh,
situation.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
I don't
so
remember
It's set in
bad.
Las
No, it's not
Vegas,
great.
right?
It is set in Las Vegas.
I've only seen the first one.
I didn't even get that.
How did the
love
sharks?
fun.
How did the sharks get to Vegas? You think?
You gotta watch the
Desert
thing to find
sharks.
out.
It goes through Mexico again, and then the hurricane comes up to Las Vegas. It skips the whole coast.
Wait, is it hurricanes or tornadoes?
So
The movie's Sharknado.
so I
so
assume it's a shark
Sharkna-
tornado.
Yep.
yeah, so Sharknado, the one that was set in California, they had a hurricane that went through Mexico and then up the coast. And then they had like typhoons and stuff bringing the sharks onto like the Santa Monica Pier and all those like
Uh-huh.
California.
Oh, so there's like tornadoes within the hurricane,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is totally a thing. Okay, interesting. I don't know. I'm not seeing either one of those scenarios hit Vegas, but
Yeah, exactly.
neither am I seeing
That's
sharks
why you-
in the tornado. So
That's
who am
why
I
you got to
say?
watch the movie.
There you go.
Yeah.
I can't imagine it's
Set
any
you up.
good. I can't imagine any of these movies are good. I haven't seen it, to be honest.
I saw the first one, but
Just get a little inebriated, you know, you're good to go.
so Max, I heard that you came up with a new segment for season 2,
Yes, and you're
and
gonna,
I need to hear about
you're
it.
gonna love it. The segment is called "What's the worst possible segment we can come up with?"
This one.
And no, this one is actually good because we can just spitball. I got a great, terrible segment. Ready?
Hit me.
I'm ready.
Fuck, marry, kill, but it's one of the costumes.
Okay. So
I don't get it.
so
What is Max talking about?
You don't know what fuck,
I am
marry,
coming
kill
up-
is?
No, not at all.
Oh
What?
My God. What?
okay. So basically, it's like okay, like of all the monsters that people create on the show, which one would
What
you?
show?
The show we just watched,
Oh, on Face Off?
Face Off.
Okay.
So on Face Off, it's like which of these monsters would you fuck, marry, and kill?
Oh, fuck Mary. I saw you. I thought you were talking about like a person called like Mary Keel, and I'm like, who's Mary Keel?
Fuck, marry, kill.
I'm like, why are we fucking Mary Keel?
Joe Nas.
Fuck Mary Keel. Like, who the hell is Mary Keel? What are we? Okay,
So-
moving on. Yeah,
All right. So, James.
of the aliens.
Yeah, yeah. So you got the green alien?
I don't want to play this game at all.
No. The green alien? The alien with the behind the head? And
Power drill, alien.
And,
Okay.
and
Power
the power
drill.
drill alien.
So the
Fuck,
whole
marry, kill, which one?
the whole point of come up with the worst possible segment.
No.
Okay.
Which one?
Why do I have to? What?
You're
'Cause
first.
You're the one protesting the most.
Oh, that's fair.
So
God
you
damn
have to
it.
do it.
I have no idea.
I mean,
Probably split face one if you're gonna bang somebody there,
Okay.
because they were at least alien like. Mary. Do I have like? Can you kill the person after you marry them?
No.
No.
Oh, that
It's like,
sucks.
which one of them would you want to live happily ever after with?
Obviously, none of them.
I mean, face vagina. That's the one.
Ooh, that's a. Yeah. All right. I'm convinced.
The
Wait,
green
they-
one.
Was that
Face
for
vagina?
Mary or?
I don't know. I mean, you could. Yeah, I don't think you'd want to kill the green one.
Why not?
I really have no further comment on this
I
one.
don't know.
I think Chris kind of likes the green one.
oh,
I mean, you know, it kind of looked like an alien space vagina on the front there. You know.
Just doing that tongue thing where it
one
moved
of the
around
judges
too.
said like, "Oh, I like what you did with the labias there."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, you
Chris
probably wanna
noticed.
marry
Chris
that
noticed.
one. Probably want to marry that one. I'd imagine.
Who the hell on the show was like, quote from the show, "I'm gonna make today my bitch." Who said that? That was
Oh, it was
ridiculous.
One of the guys with the behind that.
I don't know the names of any of the people on the show.
Damn it.
They
Yeah.
didn't have cool names like
Yeah,
Jonas.
that was the best quote of the show, though.
Speaking
Yeah.
of
tool names.
speaking of Jonas, what are the Jonas Brothers up to?
Nothing.
Who no one knows.
I actually know.
Tell us.
Oh,
One of them recently.
Our new season 2 segment. What are the Jonas Brothers up to?
It's not a new segment. We covered lots of Jonas ground last season.
Sure, no, okay. yeah,
That's
it's
true.
fair.
That's fair.
One of them released a new album, and then like a day later, spoke at the Stonewall Inn after the Orlando tragedy because what connects with Orlando gay people quite like a straight white guy.
Wait.
He
do
was
we know-
totally he
do
was
we know
shilling
he's
for his
white?
album at one of these things.
we
It's
kn-
fucked up.
Do we know he's straight though?
I mean, no, that's
So,
fair. That's fair. It's a good call out.
That seems racist.
It's racist. You're right. No, I assumes.
I really fell flat.
Okay, moving on from me just making assumptions. What are some other fun segments to bring back?
Wait, back or new?
Oh, what is the? Either way, some segments.
Would this show be better if everyone was naked in it?
No,
Wait,
Are you talking about the artists or the models?
everyone.
I don't know.
Or the host or the dad?
so
Or
it's a
the
naked face-off?
Yeah. So
Naked
would you
face-off.
watch a naked face-off?
With everyone naked?
What?
I think
You
it's
tell
just,
me.
just the
Well,
models naked.
If which version would you watch?
Those-
If you would watch any version called Naked Face Off, what would you think that would be, and which one would you watch?
Those mannequins were already naked and they were packing.
I did notice that.
You noticed that?
So
Who was naked?
So you're saying it's already
They were not naked. They were wearing like tank tops.
The mannequins.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So like, if the contestants had to do this, make all this makeup stuff while they were naked, is that like an instant not watch?
I just don't know that it adds a lot to the show.
How much
really
are they
doesn't.
blurring?
I mean,
normal
you get
pieces.
you get the Blu-ray.
It's on
so-
Syfy, so, you know.
Like, so Naked and Afraid, they blurred the front. They didn't blur the butts. Is this what we're doing here? Or
Sure,
what?
yeah. I mean, that's the cable network blurring.
Yeah.
I think that's the new segment. Would this show be better if everyone was naked?
I'm going to say
Totally.
This one's a no, but I like the segment idea.
I'm going to say no on this one. Like, not because it wouldn't be funny, but I just don't think it adds a lot to the show.
Oh, it definitely doesn't. I think.
I don't think there's a single show. The answer is yes.
Dude,
for that.
Dating Naked
Dating
and
Naked.
Naked Afraid are two
Game
great naked
changer.
shows.
They're already naked.
Yeah.
So
well,
you can't say would Dating Naked be better naked? It is naked.
No, I
but those
understand
shows,
that.
right? It's dating, but then they're like, would this dating show be better if they were naked? And somebody said yes, and then
And
they
they
did it.
did
Okay,
it.
I
Yeah.
get it.
maybe if you're doing like MasterChef.
No, we're going
I
back
feel
to
like,
dangerous
I
territory.
feel like naked cooking shows are too crazy. Like,
I feel like Dating Naked was sort of an obvious one, but Naked and Afraid maybe less obvious, or I don't know.
Definitely less obvious.
Right.
Ooh, I got
definitely more uncomfortable, too.
I got a non-obvious one.
Okay.
Ninja Warrior.
Oh.
Oh.
That I feel like that's a good candidate.
That's a good
That-
one.
That is a good
Yeah.
call.
Yeah. Yeah. That's solid.
Put it on the board.
There are already some people that try and run that course basically naked though. Like they like just wear like a thong or a speedo or something.
Yeah, I mean somebody ran it in a T-Rex costume too.
that is what you lose when you go naked. You lose the insane costumes out of Ninja Warrior, right?
I'm glad that the Japanese version has brought over the crazy costumes of the American version. Like, that's sorry. That like the Japanese version just has people that have no chance of making it, but they're just wearing these obnoxious costumes, or like they're like a sushi chef with all his gear, and like he's trying to do this crazy insane, course, and he just falls like right away. And I like that the American version still has that.
So I know the sushi chef guy you're talking about. His name is Mr. Octopus, and he brings like an insane live octopus like to the starting line with them in that show. Yeah. It's insane.
We got any other bad segments you want to throw out there?
I think we're out of bad segments.
Hey, Rob, you got to bring one. You got to bring one to the table here.
What about good segments?
Good segment? We definitely don't have any of
No,
those.
we've never had any good segments.
I mean...
Oh, drinking rules.
Oh, God.
The drinking rules? That was a good segment.
I did, yeah. Man,
I didn't think about
there's
this.
not enough drama in the show to make drinking rules. I feel like.
It's just kind of by the rules.
Every time there's terrible model acting, I don't know.
That's solid.
Every time there's a reference to vet lube,
Oh, yeah. Finish your drink. Do you think that, like, all, like, just models in general and, like the types of models who would be on something like this, like they're basically all aspiring actors, right? Like, that's kind of why they're in the game.
I don't know.
Mostly.
I really don't know the motivation of models.
Yeah. But I don't know. Because, like, they were all pretty, like, with the exception of the, like, there's like one guy who it seemed like wasn't really trying to act, and it was like whatever, but it seemed like they were all actually trying to go for it. Like, it seemed like they were like, hey, this is my big chance to show my stuff and get on an episode of The Walking Dead or whatever.
That's true.
Just didn't really.
I'm sure
Resume is a
somebody
resume.
was like hyping them up. Whether that be the producers or the people that made like the costumes. They were with those people all day. So you'd be like, oh, this is what you're trying to do. We're trying to do this. You should try to do this when you're wearing the makeup because it'd be cool. And, like, I feel like it's not just them being like, well, I'm just trying to be an actor, so I'm here acting. It's more like somebody hyped them up.
And then, like, the problem is that, like, one, they're not good actors, and two, like, these are the makeup people, they're not directors.
Yeah.
So it's like
So there's no, like, good direction, and the lighting is just horrible, as we've already gone over. So it's like, even if you were a good actor and had good direction without lighting, still probably not going to look great.
And there's not like a feedback loop, right? They're like, okay, see what you did there, you kind of overacted. We're going to need to bring that down and just kind of, groan a little bit and move around. It's like, that's not happening. It's just like, do it.
There was no time for rehearsal because they were just slapping slime on them until the last moment.
Right.
Like,
How long do you think, like, the person, the green one who, like, had her face totally covered, how long did she have that on her face?
like 4 or 5 hours. Easy.
No.
You don't think so?
No. Because they had an hour prep before and she didn't have it on before the last hour.
I understand that, but I think that, but like,
how long was that shoot?
Like, I think that everything from when they got to the place and they put that thing on her to the judging being done was like 4 or 5 hours.
That's possible.
I think it was pretty long. At least a couple hours.
But
I
I
don't
feel
know if
like
it's
the
quite as long as
judges
4.
don't want to be there either. They just want to go home.
Not to,
I love how your assumption on the show is that nobody wants to be on the show. They'd actually just rather not be there.
Yeah.
New segment, who wants to be on this show? And the answer is just
No
the
one.
dad.
Yeah,
Did you know I used to be on used to do makeup for Star Trek?
all right. So, what do you guys have? What else have you guys been watching? Anything you want to talk about since the last time we were here?
We were talking about John Travolta. And so it's not a reality show, but I was watching The People versus O.J. Simpson.
Yeah.
that
That's
show's
just
too good.
That's just a great show.
So good.
If I'd known how good it was, I would have said we should bring the show back early, but turn it into a People versus O.J. Simpson podcast.
John Travolta is an
He's-
awful actor in that show.
He's so bad,
It's not good.
but it's so entertaining.
yeah.
I don't know. I see what you're saying. He wasn't a good actor. I think he was particularly bad and didn't pull the whole show down with him.
He definitely didn't pull the show down. Like, he was great, but he was bad.
But it's like every time you're on screen, like, what are you doing? Like, it's insane.
So I was pretty young when this was happening, and like it was
It just happened a few months
No, no,
ago.
no,
What are you
no,
talking
like
about?
The real life events.
Oh.
He's young at heart.
So I learned a whole lot of what was happening. Like I knew there was some sort of chase, but I had no idea what it was about and why it was significant. I didn't realize he was trying to kill him, threatening to kill himself in the back of that van or white
Bronco. I totally found it in like I probably shouldn't have, but like I totally found it educational on a lot of like the finer points of the case, like some of the details. Like I kind of had a rough idea of the OJ situation, but like again, I was too young when it was happening to really like grok all the details. I think.
And you're not talking about the ESPN series.
No.
This is
I
a
haven't
different
seen
one.
that yet.
I've heard that one.
I've heard it's supposed to be
I've
good.
intentionally not watched the one you guys are talking about, just to watch the ESPN one fresh.
My understanding is the ESPN one isn't as much about the murder trial though.
Interesting.
It's more about OJ.
It's just the life of OJ.
Interesting.
Well, you can always go back.
Yeah.
We would recommend you do so.
Okay.
It's good.
Worthwhile, huh? All right, got it.
Yeah.
Cuba
I heard-
Gooding Jr.
He's great. So I heard there was an episode of the This American Life podcast that apparently OJ did a pilot for a reality show.
Oh my god.
That
we
I don't
get
know
this
if this is
pilot?
available.
Can we get this pilot? We should get this
we
pilot.
found if we can get this pilot. But apparently the premise was basically it was punked with OJ.
Oh my god.
Oh, man. Gotta
And
watch
his
that.
line was,
Oh,
"You've
no.
been juiced."
Oh no.
This is post trial.
This is post-trial.
Post-trial?
This is years post-trial because one of the segments is he's selling a white Ford Bronco.
Oh. So what does it mean to get juiced?
So according to the Mystery American Life podcast, it kind of doesn't really mean anything because like OJ's pretending you don't know who he is, but you do know who he is because it's OJ.
Yeah.
And then it just goes on for a bit. Then he's like, "You've been juiced."
Oh, so like OJ is in the scene in the prank with the person.
Oh,
and
he's not the
then-
host.
No, he participates in the prank.
So it is not like an Ashton Kutcher situation where he's in the control room until the reveal. Like
No.
he is in the situation.
he's in the scene,
and you're like, I'm chilling with OJ.
This sounds so fake.
It's everything about it sounded terrible. But if we can get if we can get the show, we should totally do it.
We'll look it up.
Yeah,
YouTube that. I'm sure it's on YouTube.
that sounds amazing.
It sounded pretty great.
Whew.
I mean, that Game of Thrones this season though.
Oh yeah.
Whoa!
Yo.
We putting a spoiler alert
I
on
don't
this
know if we
podcast
can-
right
We're not
now.
talking about
No.
spoilers,
No spoilers,
Boy.
but I will
I
say
don't. Sorry.
great season.
Real good season.
I think a lot's happened, but I think that the storytelling has gotten a bit weaker. I have
agree.
really enjoyed the last
slippery
few,
slope.
but James looks like he's gonna strangle me for Game of Thrones spoilers here, so maybe we should.
I think we're on dangerous territory
Yeah,
here. I think
yeah.
we got to move on.
Oh, we'll check on this some other time. Maybe after the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I watched The Magicians. I'm sure no one else has seen that.
What is The Magicians?
It's a sci-fi show. It's fantasy, kind of like Harry Potter, where this guy goes to school, but it's like post-college. But it's really cool. It's like very good storytelling. It's like 10 episodes long. So if you like fantasy, I'd recommend that.
Okay.
It's my recommendation of the week.
I'm right in the middle of
New
Mad
segment?
Dogs. Oh, we talking about?
His new segment is Chris's recommendation of the week.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I like
There
it.
we go.
I am right in the middle of Mad Dogs, which is an Amazon original, which has been pretty decent, although kind of frustrating with how dumb some of the characters are and the different decisions that they're making.
That's
Just-
always super frustrating.
It's kind of like it's the Walking Dead situation, I think. You know,
No.
The Walking Dead syndrome.
Walking Dead syndrome.
They're literally the Walking Dead.
WDS.
I actually really like that show. Like, it starts off real strong. I think it wavers a little bit. But
Yeah.
I think overall, it's pretty good.
No, I
Worth a
agree.
watch.
It's definitely enjoyable, but sometimes I'm just screaming at the TV when they're just doing
Oh, totally.
dumb things.
I definitely got to give credit to Chris on that show. Chris is the one that told me about that show, and then basically binge watched it while I was on the road somewhere. Got into it and basically told everybody about it.
And
I'm like,
James
you gotta
is the-
watch this show.
James is the one that told me about the show.
I think I just put it on the TV when you were here one day. It was like, you're gonna watch this show. The first episode is definitely like the most like, kind of like shockish. Like, oh
Yeah.
shit, this is okay. That's what's going on. Then it's just kind of interesting to go through the mysteries.
Hot tip. So on Amazon, you can download shows. So if you're ever on a long plane flight, you just download a couple episodes of this. You're good to go. You don't need to worry about anything else.
This episode of Who Put This On, sponsored by Amazon Instant Video.
Amazon. Who else are you gonna use?
Where's the disclaimer? We are not affiliated with Amazon nor take any payments.
I've
from-
definitely
But we
taken
would.
payments from Amazon.
But we would. If
Taking them under the
Amazon would
table
like
for
to
this
sponsor
one.
the show, we would love to talk to you. What's our Twitter handle again, Chris?
What do you think our Twitter handle is?
I don't know. Probably who put this on.
The DPP. No.
It's not the DPP.
So should we talk about season 2 of the show and kind of what that means and why we're here?
If we have any answers to those things, that would be great.
I don't know if we
That's a
have
hell of a
answers.
question.
I don't, know if we
I
have
don't think we
answers.
do, which is a strange way for you, which strange for you to bring it up. But
You know.
I guess it's including the audience into. We don't have any idea of when we're going to be back or anything about it. We're just doing it for fun.
We do it for fun. You'll probably see us again.
We are putting out an episode. We might do another one. We might not do another one. But you should subscribe,
And maybe we'll pivot.
and maybe a
Sure.
new episode will pop in at some point. Who
Yeah.
knows?
What was
The
Max's
The
thing?
more feedback we get from the community, though, the more likely we'll be doing it. So,
We take bribes in the form of alcohol
um,
to record the podcast with.
pretty much
And-
anything.
Pretty much anything.
Whatever you got.
Our best bribe, however, is good recommendations for shows to watch.
that is true.
It's true. So Max, what was your? We never got to yours. Recommended show that maybe you've been watching since we've last chatted on the air.
I've been watching The Wire.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Just
Okay.
kidding. Haven't watched The Wire.
What?
Everybody
Why did
says
you
I've
get
wa-
me? Did you just juice me? I think you juiced me. I got juiced.
You got juiced.
Got
Damn
you,
it.
son.
No, I've been too busy with The Witcher 3 to watch TV.
But to be fair, The Witcher 3 is kind of like a TV show.
Oh, for sure.
I
So-
mean, this is just a segment to talk about whatever you want. It doesn't have to be a show.
You
I've
could throw
been-
out the Silicon Valley recommendation.
Silicon Valley, it's entertaining. It's on point. I've been reading some Margaret Atwood books. You know, Joanna Newsom's latest album. That's solid.
He's been solidly avoiding TV, all reality, all the time.
Don't get me wrong. I love TV. I just there's nothing great on Netflix. Although I should probably watch The Wire
That's
Should,
not on Netflix.
should probably watch The Wire.
or The West Wing. I should watch The West Wing.
West Wing is on.
West Wing, I think The West Wing's a better show than The Wire, but I'm kind of into politics and stuff, so.
Oh man, you can't be saying controversial things like that on the podcast.
What, that I'm into politics, or that The West Wing's better than The Wire?
West Wing's better than. I mean, you could be into politics. That's
Yeah.
not controversial.
That's how you spin up hate groups, Harrison.
Okay.
I think saying
Bring it
things
on.
like The West Wing's Better Than The Wire is exactly the kind of crazy stuff we should be talking about on this TV podcast.
Probably.
We at some point.
At some point, what?
And that's that, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, Jonas, you got anything over there? Are we? you just recommending Mad
Quick
Dogs?
recommendation would be Mr. Robot. I
Oh,
recently stumbled upon that one and binge watched the heck out of it, and it was amazing. And I
Season
really
two's-
can't wait for the next one.
Season 2 starts on like Tuesday or something.
Oh shit! All right, I know what I'm
You're
doing.
good to go.
Yup.
All right, Rob, you got plugs?
Yep, you find me on Twitter at RobKetz.
James,
Doom. It's a hell of a game.
Doom's a hell of a game. It certainly is.
Harrison, you got any plugs? What are you up to?
You can find me on Twitter at Harrison Hoffman and see when I don't post that much on Twitter.
Okay. People
Yeah.
can post to you though.
If people tweet at me, I will tweet at you.
All right, Max, you got us some plugs?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at XXXTrumpingUglies96.
Oh god.
Okay, so I'll follow that. You can follow me at the Chris Lorenz, and you can follow us at Who Put This On. You can email us at whoputthison@gmail.com and all the other Who Put This On places.
And that's it.
Welcome back.
Adios.